Wow. Okay, so it's backwards. That's wild. Hope we don't have this pulsating going on the whole time. That's an annoying camera. Can you guys hear me? Check, check, test, test. Audio, anybody? Hello? Oh, the other me. Oh, you can hear me. Awesome. Hey, Mark. Well, that's at least it's one more subscriber or one more viewer than you had the other day. So, got it. Good to know. First time streaming, so we'll see if we get any more people joining. It shows 3. So, here's a question. Is everything reversed like the Las Vegas sign? Got it. I'm using a webcam actually. So, okay. It almost has that teal look. That teal kind of no color grading. It's just weird. So it's kind of cool. Plain watermark. Hey, maybe it'll just be you and I hanging out. There's a way to do it with your camera. Huh. Teresa. My girlfriend's watching from outside. That's too funny. Yeah, that's weird. I wonder who the other is. I'm looking at the icon on YouTube and it shows 3, but if I click on it, it doesn't show. Weird. Let's give it a, oh, it's just 6 o'clock. So I'm testing out this webcam. It's I don't know, 1080p, just a cheap one I bought at the beginning of March. And I went to look. I think my son wanted something for his Twitch account, and they're all sold out. I think everyone's trying to stream from home because they're bored. So good thing I bought this early. But what I don't like, and I can't find it in the settings, is what I don't like is this pulsating. I don't know if you can see it. I think it's constantly auto focusing. I wish it would stop, and I couldn't find any settings, but I think I paid like $40 for this thing. So 4 people. All right. Welcome, welcome. I'm using my studio lights. Okay, well, I said we'd start at 6. It's 6:01, so let's get started. So the title of this is Virtual Reality Gear. If you're old like me, this was our first virtual reality gear. You ready? Virtual reality. This was it. If you had one, I knew Mark would get a kick. I try, this is the thing that makes me sad is I tried scanning one of these to get the image because it's like a slide film, and in it, I found, and I wanted to scan pictures so I could share it. I don't know if you'll be able to read that. Oh yeah, you kind of can. Check that out, Mark, if it would stop focusing. And that was from, I believe it said 1958. So this was Disneyland back in 1958. So if anybody has one of these, I actually have another one of these. If you want it, leave me a comment. I'll send it to you, but I'll wipe it down with Clorox bleach and everything before I ship it out. US only, and the continental US. Sorry, Alaska and Hawaii. Yeah, I wish there was more Disneyland ones, but all right. Well, once we get together, I will put it aside for you, buddy, because I do. Here's the other one. So, but what's kind of cool is there's Mary Poppins on here, Donald Duck, Mickey Mouse, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Now, these only have 7. I think it's because of the way it's stereoscopic, so you only have 7 images, if I remember. But hey, if you've got one that works, or you don't, and you're going to go find one, that's fine. I'll save it for you. Okay. I don't see my girlfriend commenting. I heard they might be shutting that down, but let me know what time you want to head out there. I wouldn't mind going Valley of Fire. I just heard that it was getting so crowded that they were turning kind of like Red Rock. They had to turn some people away. So I think everyone gets antsy and wants to head out. Oh, I'm going to share. This is the mic I'm using. It's good. It's a shotgun mic. I use this when I'm vlogging on camera. Oh, okay. If they like Disney, we should hang your pins on the wall behind you. Yeah, when I worked for Disney, we celebrated Epcot's 25th year anniversary. And one of the rides I got the chance to work on was in the Norway Pavilion called the Maelstrom. And when I say work on, it was some of the IT stuff, but that ride has been closed and it is now, I think they closed it down to make it the Frozen ride. So the Maelstrom it once was, and now it's the Frozen ride. But yeah, that was back in, gosh, when did I work there? We were probably going there in 1986. Yeah, those were interesting times when Disney spent a lot of money. They would fly you out there. You got to stay at the Contemporary. Then you just take the monorail to work. Kind of neat. I did computer programming in COBOL. And then we switched over to, they were these computers by, God, this is dating myself, Digital Equipment Corporation called DEC. And we did assembler language programming. And that's what some of the rides used. So there was a time when, I'll share this story. They were ripping out a lot of the stuff, the guts at Disneyland Park, and they were replacing it all with new cabling. So we had to go out there. They're going from some old IBM, such tech stuff, IBM token ring, and we're going to Ethernet. So they were gutting everything. No, but I worked with the Imagineers over at Imagineering. It used to be called WDI, Walt Disney Imagineering. And I also used to work with their, just a little bit with their legal arm. And that was for copyright infringement for Disney stuff. So they would go out and make sure people weren't abusing the Disney image, the name, the brand, the logo, which is why when I walk the strip and see these people dressed up as Mickey Mouse, it kind of puts that hat back on. I'm like, how did they get permission? Disney used to be really strict. So, in fact, it was funny because the name of that company was, the division was called Retlaw, Retlaw, and all that was Walter spelled backwards. But yeah, I guess I could turn this to a Disney. Hey, did you know Disney Channel stuff or Disney stuff? But that was a long time ago. And yeah, we used to go to visit the Imagineers. One of the newest rides, again, like I said, that was in 1986. One of the newest rides, we'd go into their warehouse and it was so nondescript, you would just drive right by it. But one of the warehouses they had the mock-ups of all the rides. My YouTube Pro pick, you are wearing Disney ears. That's too funny. Yeah, you are. I'm wearing this UNLV hat because my son goes there and I had to pay for this hat. It wasn't covered with tuition. But one of the rides they were working on, if I remember, it looked like the Monsanto, what was that called? Do you remember? The Monsanto was it Inner Space? Where you got into the little buggies and you saw the big microscope. But they had one very similar and it was going to be Star Wars. But they hadn't come up with the vehicle yet. They weren't doing the hydraulic and the VR 4D type stuff. At that point, they were making it look more like just like the Monsanto ride, where you sat in that buggy and you kind of went around and saw Star Wars. So, yeah, it was. It was. Same with Carousel of Progress. That was a cool ride. Um, yeah, we used to go to Disney, shoot, I don't know, 69, 67. So fun times. I miss those ticket rides, though. Do you remember the E-tickets and A-tickets? Didn't make sense when I was young. Now that I'm older, it's like, yeah, I may or may not go on an E-ticket ride, but I'll get my ticket. Yep, do you want? Yeah, they did. But I would always use that Mr. Lincoln ticket. I still have tickets in my scrapbooks. That's awesome. That's awesome. I remember I started at Disney in 1984, right before they got rid of the current CEO, Ron Miller, who was married to Walt's daughter, Sharon Disney. And actually, his son um, went to a high school in the San Fernando Valley also. Real nice guy, too. But yeah, so in 84, towards the end, that's when Roy Disney and the Bass brothers, who were big in real estate, and Kerkorian, who did the MGM out here, did a takeover of Disney and ousted him. So things changed quickly on the lot. It was interesting. 3 people still. Come on, people. No one cares. We're a huge Disney family. Yeah, Disney's great. I miss those days. I don't know if I shared with you. I think I told you when you're a manager there, you get what they call the Silver Pass, and the Silver Pass allowed you and 3 guests access to the park anytime. Plus, you could park up front when they used to let you park close to the park before California Adventure was built. So during the winter months, you got to park right up there. Otherwise, you didn't have to pay for parking. And you got 50% off. If I remember, it was 50% off all merchandise and food in the park. So, like on a Sunday afternoon, if we had nothing else to do, be like 11 o'clock. So, let's go to the park. Drive down. It was only 40 minutes. Drive to the park, spend 3 hours, go on 2 rides because we weren't paying. Who cared? So, California sign. Yeah. Oh, yes. I didn't know they got rid of that. Are you talking about downtown Disney where they had the word California or the letters? 5-second delay. Okay, yeah, I didn't know they got rid of that. You know, last time I was there, I want to say it was 2015, 16. Once I left there, it just became it was difficult to go and actually pay, and the $100 per person after getting in for free. You're just like, oh, I have to pay. Oh my goodness. So it's kind of hard, but um, working for them was neat. We were AP. Oh, annual passport holders. Got it. Yeah, I looked at that, and that wasn't too bad. And then, of course, if you lived in Southern California, they had the deals for those too. But yeah, we just didn't go that much. Oh, how long did you live in San Diego? Since this is really just a chat between Mark and I. I wonder who the third person is. I keep looking down because my screen's there, but my camera's higher. 6 year. Wow. Okay. All right. Yeah. San Diego's nice. My dad's originally from San Diego, and I still have relatives who live down there their whole life. It's expensive. I mean, it was getting expensive even in the 80s when I was old enough to try to buy a home. We looked at moving down to San Diego, but it was just too expensive even back then. So, yeah, San Diego's nice. They lived they lived close to Balboa Park, um, near Balboa Park area. And, there, if you live in that area, everything was close. You just jump on the 15 to the 8, which is the beach, inland to the beach, or the 163 to the 8, which took you right to SeaWorld. I had cousins who worked at SeaWorld, so that was cool. We used to get in for free there. Um, yeah, beach minutes from Balboa. Yep, exactly. Definitely like that area. I was watching. I was watching Flawed and Fabulous do her live stream today, just because I think it popped up on my YouTube. And even though she said she's got over, I don't know, 1,300, 14, 15, 1,600 subs, she only has a few, or she has about 1,600 watch hours. So I guess she's starting to do live streams to get her watch hours up. Sunset Cliffs, yes. Actually, Ocean Beach. So my best friend when we were in high school, well, I wouldn't say best, a friend, um, his aunt lived at Sunset Cliffs, and we'd go down surfing. They always had a surfboard, and I remember the waves were so big, breaking by Ocean Beach Pier, that at one point you didn't even paddle out. You just surfed in, ran up the pier, and then threw your board and dove in, because really the swells were so high that the distance between the pier and the top of the water wasn't that bad. Maybe 8 foot drop. I mean, they were big. So 2 thumbs up. Awesome. Question. So, Mark, when you're usually done with your live streams, do you mark it private right away and then delete it the next day? Oh, no. I think you said you just mark it private and then save onto it. So you're saving them. And yeah. God, that stupid pulsating. News alert, Walmart to start limiting. Oh, good. Kind of blown out. Okay. Got it. Okay. That makes sense. So keep them, just you can flag them private. All right. It's a good idea. Yeah, I even I think I put the link on my Facebook fan page. Save as private for your Patreon later. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know if I have enough content or want to be creative enough to it's already enough work trying to create content and then to have special content. I get it though. I know some of those other YouTubers do that. Um, was it the Nikon gal? She has a Patreon where she shows some of the stuff. I don't know. I get it, but I don't think Peter McKinnon has a Patreon. Not that I'll have the 4.6 million subs right away. Let's talk about gear. Look at Teresa. Gear. You missed the gear part. This was the virtual reality gear. Yeah, he doesn't need it. Of course he doesn't. It's the virtual reality gear. See? And I did show Mark my deity mic, which is actually, I think, a better mic anyway than the Rode, based on all the reviews. Sorry, allergies. Well, I've got two people. So Teresa's the other one. I wonder who the third is. I wonder if it counts me as the third. I found out today my camera is still a great camera for video in 2020. Found out today my camera is still a great camera for video in 2020. Yeah. Oh, I'm sure it is. When you were telling me what you have, I tried using a GoPro, but the problem with using the GoPro is, as you know, um, you don't get any shallow depth of field. You don't get the bokeh background. Um, yeah, I wouldn't upgrade. If it does everything you need, then why? I didn't have a camera capable of shooting video, so my my only video camera I had, I think, was an Olympus Pen, small camera, and it only shot 1080 at 30 frames per second, which would still work, but you couldn't really do any slow motion. And I kind of wanted to do some slow motion stuff. So I have a GoPro 7, Hero 7, because I was doing drone flights and I could kind of put it on something. But with the GoPro, it's kind of like your smartphone. You really can't get shallow depths of field and you're kind of limited. So I ended up upgrading my camera, my DSLR. So I bought one and it uses all my existing lenses. I need a damn cleaning kit. Well, once they come in stock, I don't know. Do you have a date on when they're going to be in? Have you seen anything? I know you said that they're back ordered. No, I'm a Nikon. I've been a Nikon fanboy since high school. That's 1978 for those who are watching. My dad's a Canon shooter, and a buddy of mine had a Nikon camera and he gave it to me. And my dad said, I have all this Canon glass. And I said, but you're so particular about your camera gear. I'm afraid to mess it up. So I started shooting Nikon so I could get my own gear. So yeah, I'm a Nikon shooter. And really my background as far as photography kind of goes back to high school, but shooting digital was 2009. I'm going to see if I can take this down without messing it up. Oh yeah, it's just peel and stick. Hopefully you can see this. So this is shot on film. And the worst part is, you really can't tell, but I also printed this in my darkroom. Before we moved here in Bakersfield, I had a bathroom that I could set up a darkroom. So I would shoot the film, develop it at home, and then actually print it on photo paper. So this, you had to use the chemicals and everything. So that's what that is. This is actually shot on film, not digital, not digitally reproduced and then printed. This was all an analog process. Pretty cool. So that's my background. You're asking, I shot and developed film in high school. Yeah. I mean, and it's just kind of a shame that they, I'll just leave that there. It's kind of a shame that they did away with that. One of the high schools in Bakersfield 2 years ago still had their photography darkroom. So they were still doing that. I show a shot in one of my videos. Oh, that's I'll have to go back and look. Huh. Yeah, so a lot of my background is almost all photography. In fact, I didn't start doing video until put in a true effort until August of 2018. Is that right? Yeah, it was August of 2018. When did we move out here? Oh, it's 2020. Yeah. So August of 2018, actually May, because I did do some drone video. And at that point, I figured I might as well do some handheld camera video instead of just using my drone. So I started out with Adobe Premiere. You and I were talking about that. And it was just, it was torturous. The rendering times and being a one-man shop, I don't plan on sharing. I think I quit after high school and started again 11 months ago. Oh, nice. Yeah, with digital though, the thing I like about it is at least unlike film, you had your 36 exposures and you can never see what you did until afterwards. Um, that's kind of the same when I was shooting that Super 8 movie. You just you set your exposure, you measure with the light meter, and you think, okay, this has got to be it. You try to be as smooth as possible. You even hold your breath. At least I did when I would pull the trigger on the Super 8. At least with digital, man, you can review it right there and know if you got the shot. So, I mean, yeah, I agree. It's the learning curve is definitely different. Um, I think they try to make it a lot easier when you look at all these people that offer LUTs and presets and all that stuff. And I'm kind of I don't know. I don't like using them that much. I don't know. Maybe it's the old school. Get it right in camera is what we were always taught. Get it right in camera, and then your editing process doesn't take long. So whether it was just printing in the darkroom or even digital. So I just corrected throw a light. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I do use them. I've noticed that when I throw a LUT on mine, because I always do the base corrections. Yeah, same with me. I think, and what I usually find is the LUTs that I apply, I end up either adjusting them or just backing off to about, as an average, I back it down to about 75% and look at I think the video scopes in Final Cut. Yeah. Yeah, I look at the video scope. There's one that shows you, especially if you have people in it, where the flesh tone uh, point is, and I just make sure that I'm right in there. If I'm going like the video I did for Walking the Strip, um, that that blue was actually not added in. I didn't do that in post. That blue was done out of the camera by, it was a trick we used to do in photography by setting the white balance to incandescent, which is a very orange light. And if you don't have any orange in the room, then it casts a blue shadow. So I cut them 50 and 60 and pull the red down. Yeah. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. I tend to use my RGB video bars on Final Cut, and then I look at the skin tones, I look at the highlights, the shadows, and the mids. I tend to hit the shadows, the highlights. I go just above the 100, so it's clipping just a little bit. But if there's no detail in the whites, then who cares? I mean, you can clip your whites as much as you want if there's no detail, especially if it's the sun. And the shadows, I'm more worried about the shadows. Oh, hey, Tony, what's going on? Thanks for joining, buddy. So, all right. Tony used to live out here, and then the jerk decided he needed to move back to Orlando. So now I'm just waiting for his Disney stuff, but I'm kidding. He's not a Disney vlogger. He wasn't really a Vegas vlogger. He was a life vlogger and a fitness vlogger. So just giving you crap, Tony. But yeah, he and I started hanging out in, I want to say it was July of last year. And we did a lot of videos together. It was fun. It was fun. It was someone to go hang out with. And he lived literally 2 miles away from me. So it was always, hey man, you want to go to the strip? All right, let's go. Donald Duck is shut down for the time. Yeah, they are shut down. I know. Well, and I imagine SeaWorld and Universal Studio, all of that, just like here, everything is shut down, and it's gonna stink. That fan noise is actually my laptop I'm using, so I don't know if you can hear that buzzing. Yeah, it is. It's one thing to vlog by yourself, but when there's others there, you kind of feed off each other. It's kind of cool. I mean, you kind of spin off to your own thing, but Tony and I would kind of compare. What shot did you get? Did you get that shot? It was pretty funny. So, yeah. Yeah, Tony, you missed it. I was sharing my new virtual reality gear. I'm going to show it again. The ViewMaster 3D. Back in my day, this was as virtual as it got. No fan noise. Audio is fine. Okay. I actually plugged my Deity mic into my laptop. Tony, did you have one of these growing up as a kid? I know Mark did. I remember the music. Oh, hey, Let Your Light. How are you? Yeah, so this is the virtual reality gear. I was actually going to do more of my video stuff, do 3D rotate, put this on rotation and light it. And I'm like, you know what? That would be like a minute long video. So, but anyway. So I think I did. Looks familiar. So we've got Tony, we've got Let Your Light Shine, and we've got Mark. Those of you who don't know Mark, Mark knows Mark. Mark is the other me. He's a born and raised local Vegas guy, and he's got a funny channel. He's good. He says he's not good, but he does some good stuff. He does some really good speed ramping, and I think all of you do really good jobs. So I saw Let Your Light celebrated her 1-year anniversary not too long ago. And we celebrated ours moving to Henderson, or from Cali also, December of 2019. I suck, whatever. Freaking guy. I don't know. I kind of like that Mystic Shop in Burbank. Mystic Shop? Is that what it was? The Mystic Shop? I can't remember. By the way, Mark, I'm 57 years old, 58 this year. So memory goes quick. 2 months ago, hasta luego for me. Oh, yeah. Has it been 2 months? Wow. So Tony left here. I guess it was. I need to start pulling focus instead of relying. Yeah, boy. Mark comment, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I'm 50 this year. Welcome to the club. Did you get your AARP thing in the mail yet? Because when I hit 50, that was the first thing I got. It's like, thanks, but no thanks. Although, once I got to 55, Supercuts at least gave me haircuts for cheap. And I think Denny's is 57. I don't remember. There is some things to look forward to when you get that old. Yesterday. Oh, nice. You look 29, whatever. But yeah, letting autofocus do it. It just, It's not consistent, and I see it in mine all the time. Unfortunately, my eyesight isn't good enough that I do have the focus lines. So when I'm zooming in, when I get to focus, everything that's in focus gets red outline. But the lines need to be either be one brighter or thicker so I can see it. Um, so on a couple of them, I did that. But yeah, pulling focus is that's not easy. So yeah, let your light. I moved out here officially, and actually we bought the house in December of 18, and then physically moved in January. I think it was about a month later. Yeah, I agree, Tony. Once you, once you understand how to focus manually, if you can get a tool to help you do it, you can't do it on a gimbal unless you got. My Ronin has an autofocus wheel, so that's been actually. What do you do when you're staying at home? I sit out there in my backyard and practice pulling focus, chasing my dog around when I'm using my Samsung phone as a camera. Any tips? Yeah, so I saw your video the other day when you're at Exploration Peak, and it was a struggle. I'll be honest with you because yeah, that wind was just killing your audio, and they always say video mediocre video is one thing. You'll still get people to watch, but audio drives people nuts. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the sound. So I've tried a lav mic, and you can get a lavalier mic. It's called a Movo, Movo lapel mic. I think they have them on Amazon for like $8. They're not expensive. I think they come with a little foam cap. Now you still, what's nice is your voice will travel down. But if I'm facing the wind, if the wind's coming this way and I've got one, it's going to be bad. So at that point, just be mindful of where the wind is, turn your back to the wind, and you'll get good audio. Um, this thing, even with this foam, I was out the other day and in about 10 to 15 mile per hour winds, it was actually really good. At 25, I need to get a dead cat, but this in a smartphone, that would look pretty wild. But yeah, take a look. Go to Amazon. It's Movo lapel or lavalier mic. Like I said, I think they're $8. If you have a headphone jack, it should just plug straight in there. Give that a shot for $8. You've got 1,000 subs. You're raking in the big money. Yeah, audio. Even with this good mic, oh my gosh, I put it on my audio scopes, and I try to tweak it. I watch Potato Jet's buddy. Oh gosh, what is his name? He's got that channel. I think we talked about it. The Rode Video mic is also good. Yeah, thanks. I'll check it out. Tony, I'll Google windscreen. The windscreen is great if you're in the studio. I don't know if that's what you're talking about, like the split screens. But if you're out and about, I think the lav mic works actually pretty good. But it doesn't work. Well, I'll tell you where it won't work. It won't work on the strip when you walk by all those places that blast music. There's just no getting around that. That music just penetrates because it's everywhere. It is, you think you want to shoot down the strip, and then we get down there, and it's like, well, now I've got to cut that audio out and overlay my own audio because I don't want to get demonetized. Yeah, that's the only thing. Oh, I wonder, are they still playing music on the strip right now? Has anyone been when you're since they closed it down? Are they still pumping music or just the few lights? Really good. Oh, hey, Silver Fox. Rode Micro Go has been awesome for me. Oh, Rode Micro Go. That's not the. Oh, I think I have that one. That's the. the little one. Um, I like it. My problem with it is it's omnidirectional, and with omnidirectional, if you've got someone to the left or right, or even behind you, but mainly to the left or right of you, it's going to pick that up. And I notice with condenser shotgun mics like this one, it focuses mainly what's right in front. So the audio is pretty good. I'm going to snap to the side. So this is 90 degrees to one side, and that's 90 degrees to the other. So we were there on 4/1, heard music from the CVS store. Yeah, it's just, I haven't been since we drove down. And I think I don't want to be that vlogger that just wants to show the bad of the strip. And there's a lot of vloggers that are talking about Vegas and what's going on. And I think we just get so much negativity. It's kind of depressing to watch. So that's why my last few videos, I did I did Nelson, Nevada, and I did wetlands. I need to make a shotgun mic that is also a transmitter for labs. Yeah, that would be cool. Now that would be really cool, especially like if you're doing interviews. Um, but yeah, I did the wetlands park and I did Nelson, and just made it more like a music style. I just didn't want to, like I said, there's so much going on. I think we get inundated. Then you go onto YouTube and you see more of it. It's like, okay, people, I get it. We're all upset. So let's try to do good things. So good tip. Check out Tony's channel, Tony Gonzalez. I know Let Your Light subscribes to him because when he posted his video or stream about leaving, she said she'd still watch him. He does no equipment or bare minimal equipment for working out. He's got 10-minute videos. They're really good. I like to sit and watch them while I'm eating my breakfast. Or actually, I walk my dog. So we wanted to do the light up the strip parade. Oh, I didn't know they canceled it. Oh, good tip. Yeah, the other day here in Nevada, they were going to light up the strip for the healthcare workers. Is that the one you're talking about? I believe so. They're going to have a parade, but I didn't know they canceled it. Okay. Oh, you know what? I saw your video. I need to watch that. Been doing just fitness lately as I'm stuck in the house. We'll vlog again at some point. Yeah, really. Start vlogging, Tony. Um, I just jumped on his. Yeah, I mean, he's got some great tips. And if you go to his other stuff, I'm going to tell your story, Tony. Too bad, man. So he grew up went to school, grew up in Orlando, Florida, moved to LA, then moved to Vegas, and then moved back. It's a great story. He does some really good video. Uh, he does some I should say he does some really good vlogging. So he brings you in, makes you feel like you're part of the whole thing. And I think as a 57-year-old, it's kind of hard to do that. I think we were all raised to be very private, don't let people in, show your work face. And the younger generation, man, come on in. This is my life. And back in our day, it's, you don't talk about what you do. You don't talk about how much you make. You don't do any of that stuff. So different generation. Yeah. For all workers. Okay. Yep. Let your light. So it's for all workers. Tony is a humble guy. I agree with the way he thinks. Yeah. Tony has for as young as I'll call him young because he's at least 20. I know he's more than 20 years younger than me, but we'll just leave it at that. He's probably closer to 30 years younger. But yeah, he's pretty wise for his age. Just don't. Oh, I already said it. Now his head's going to get big. Darn it. So come on, guys. What are you doing? Cole, how's everything going? Silver Fox lives, I want to say in Malaysia. And he's got some really interesting stuff, especially being over there with everything going on. So if you don't know his channel, it's Silver Fox. Check it out. And he vlogs daily, talks about what's going on there. So in Malaysia on the other side, really good channel. Again, if you haven't subscribed, so everyone on here, I subscribe to you all. Thanks for showing up. I appreciate it. Not going to lie, I have been missing Vegas a bit. Tony has been in my house. He knows I've got room for him if he decides to come back out to Vegas. But if you do come out, I'm going to lock you in that room for 14 days first. So you can't go anywhere for 14 days. Anyway. I will be on the strip the day it opens. You know what? That would be interesting. I wonder if there'll be, I mean, I'm sure we'll all know ahead of time, but wouldn't that be neat to go hang out on the strip when it reopens along with 10,000 other YouTubers? No kidding. Golly. Yeah, I guess you could also do Fremont Street, although that would probably be just as crowded. But yeah, with everything closed, you know, it's interesting. I'm a licensed. People think New York parties. Nobody parties like Vegas. No kidding. I wonder if Vegas will celebrate the grand reopening. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree with you. Let your light. I think Mark's right. I think all of us who live here, vloggers and non-vloggers, I think we just want to see that darn strip reopen. And, you know, will it be before the Raiders season? You know, there's going to be so much going on. So it'll be interesting. Gosh, I hope so. You know, I think everybody's just tired of being cooped up. Vegas strong. So, yeah. I see what you mean about live streaming. So any questions? Any questions about what I use to vlog or how I vlog, or I think June, July at the earliest though. Yeah, you know, honestly, Tony was saying Tony's in Florida again, June or July. Yeah, let's hope so. Let's hope we can get April 30th done, even up to, you know, I'd even stay till May 30th, May 31st, just to make sure that we get a good grip on this. So we'll go by before we open. Yeah, that's my fear, is that, you know, although, and the worst part is I'd say, well, you know, I'll have a YouTuber meetup at my house. We can have some pizza and go swimming, but we're supposed to socially distance. So maybe I'll just live stream that. That would be mean during the summer to live stream swimming in a pool and having pizza. I wouldn't do that. But I think they'll drag this out. Yeah. You know, as much as Sisolak gets grief, our governor here in Nevada, I think he did the right thing. I mean, it seems early compared to New York was shut down that Saturday after we had already shut down Wednesday. So yeah, Tony was just saying that our cases, I looked at just, you know, the day over day just to see the increase. Oh my gosh, yeah, Florida, and I think Georgia shut down also recently. At 6 feet apart, we can have 5 people. My girlfriend said that we can have some YouTubers come over to our house. As long as we stay our 6 feet apart, we can have at least 5 people over. But if that's us, I don't know. Literally had people getting haircuts. Oh my gosh. Yeah, our hospitals didn't look that busy. And I was looking at the stats from April 1st to April 2nd, and even the day before, and our numbers didn't jump up as quickly. And I'm hoping that we have just as many test kits or more test kits. And it's interesting to see if, I don't know if you guys, we locals, look at the Nevada State dashboard. There's a lot of people getting tested and a lot of negatives. So it's kind of interesting. My friend had a kid today in hospitals. Oh, wow. They had their baby born, huh? During all of this? You know, it's almost like The Walking Dead giving birth during the zombie apocalypse. I mean, wow. I would be afraid to go to the hospital. I think I saw someone post that. It's like, you know, it's nice to get out, go hiking, but just think if you have an accident, slip and fall and hurt yourself, Now you've got to go to the hospital. So, you know, it's weird. That's a good question. Let Your Light was saying, I wonder if our summer heat will kill this virus. Sure, maybe, but surface streets are still crowded. Yeah, driving on the strip is still busy. And then they're at least doing the smart thing by doing construction on the strip right now and get it done, get out of the way. Yeah, I don't know if the heat. They say it will. The virus can only withstand up to 80 degrees, 77 maybe. But I think it's so early. It's hard to tell. Um, and we're so dry here too, because I think I read somewhere um, it would have to get really hot, but like places where Tony is in Florida, you get that humidity, and that's what keeps the virus going. It's the heat and the humidity combined is what they're saying. Heat and humidity do kill. Okay, so they are saying the heat and humidity. I know it has to get up there. I mean, here with as arid and dry as it is, uh, if you know anything about viruses and stuff. Some of them are encased in fat or lipids, and apparently this one is. And so high heat, not intense heat, but heat will kill it. They're just saying that the moisture and the humidity might not. Who knows? I think we just all want it to get done. We want those vaccines done and everything else. 95 here 2 days ago already. What? So it's 95 in Orlando. What's the humidity? 88, 90? Are you having your 90 days? Although Cole, Silver Fox, I wonder what their weather. I think the other day he said it was pretty nice. All right. It's supposed to kill it. So anybody working on any 59? Oh, 59% humidity for 95 is not bad. You had a 95 with 59. That's not too bad. That's almost tolerable. I'm a Filipino, so the Philippines was always humid. Not that I could really remember. I was too small to remember that, but it seemed like it always rained. So, anybody have any other questions about here? It's Q&A. Anything you want to know? Little bean. Little bean. I'm trying to read. These old eyes suck. Got a mural. Although it's pretty dark in here. I could fix my light and put more light up, but it's all right. Trying to go for that dark and gloomy look. Got my kicker light right here. Softbox. Don't fall. Oh, got someone else who joined in. Little bean. All right, guys. So what else? Any questions for me? It is Q&A. We're coming up to an hour. Mark, you are awesome. Hey, Mark, are you going live tonight? If you are, I'll keep an eye out and jump on your channel. What did you grill? I actually did a rotisserie chicken. Our grill handles the rotisserie. So I brine my chicken for 48 hours, let it sit, and then dump out the brine, let it sit in 5 minutes for cold water, and then put it on the spit, put it on the rotisserie for about 3.5 hours. Comes out really good. And I don't eat the skin because that's really salty anyway. But yeah, so we did that. I was actually going to smoke a tri-tip. I have a smoker and I haven't used it since we've been out here. I might, but nobody shows up anymore. Hey, I'll show up. So, yep. It's my softbox. What about you, Tony? When are you live streaming? You haven't live streamed in ages. Usually you would either live stream on the strip or while you were making dinner, but it's almost 10 o'clock on the East Coast. So I'm assuming you won't be cooking dinner that late. Maybe this weekend. Okay. Yeah, gosh, I wish you guys had more questions for me. Not that I'm an expert or anything, but um, I she was sharing with Mark my background and that I'm actually a photographer hobbyist. I mean, I wasn't. That's not my professional career. Never was. Um, and there's just so many photographers out there. It's hard to get your niche. And my problem with photography nowadays is with all the technology out there, anybody can mimic anybody pretty easily with LUTs, with presets, with Lightroom. And we all use the same thing, um, which is why, excuse me, I'm sorry, it's my asthma. Um, Around 2011, I went back to shooting film because film was different. And I was a computer guy. And the last thing I wanted to do after spending 9 hours a day on a computer was to shoot photos and then spend another couple hours in front of a computer. So everyone, yeah, everyone nowadays, we used to, we used to have two acronyms, GWC and MWC. GWC was guys with cameras who always hit up on the very attractive young females because they say, "Hey, I've got a camera." And then we had the MWCs, which were the moms with camera because they wanted to get a camera to photograph their kids. And then a month later, all of a sudden, they were newborn photographers, they were child photographers. And it was just interesting to watch, especially when you knew someone go through the progression of, I'm going to be this kind of photographer. This is how Zombie starts, a coffin. It was, that is, Zombieland has to be one of my favorite movies about zombies. I didn't see the second one though. I didn't want to. I kind of like Woody Harrelson and his his Twinkie fix, um, but I didn't watch the second. So just watch Double Tap. And is Double Tap worth watching? I want to know because I bought the digital version of Rise of Skywalker. Yeah, I bought the digital version of Rise of Skywalker, Episode 9. I want to watch it. Um, First was better. See, that was my fear with Zombieland. Is the first one? It was good. So, um, but yeah, I'm trying to think of what we were talking about. See, when you get old, you start reading these. Oh, so anyway, yeah. So photographers, it's hard to try to get your niche. I mean, a lot of people use, yeah, I still give people kudos who do it as a profession because it's a tough one, photography. Same thing with what we're all doing. I mean, how many YouTubers, are out there? There's got to be a bunch of vloggers, YouTubers, and what I find interesting is the watch times. Usually, my videos average about a 50% watch time, anywhere between 35 to 48%. I looked at them. But then I also posted those driving the strip 360, and those are about 17 minutes long. And average watch time on those was about 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, and that's it. And I get it. Random Wolf. Well, most of my videos I try to keep under 8 minutes. 7 minutes is my target because I know most people can only, if you've had kids, you know that your kid has a 5-second attention span. So as you get older, I think I multiply that out. So I figure most attention spans are about 3 to 4 minutes, and then people just get bored, unless it's really good content. Don't get me wrong. I mean, there's some content that you get glued to, and I wish I could create content that people were glued to. So yeah, and I think that's what they did. The 360 driving down the strip, I was hoping people would watch it and kind of pan around and look and see all the lights on. But I tried to I wanted my girlfriend to drive slower, but there was enough traffic that she would get pressed. So Yeah, my click-through rate actually has been dropping down. It's not bad. It's about 3.2% click-through rate. So I don't know what else, but so SEO search. Yeah, yeah, I do use a lot of hashtags in mine, but we used to do that. I do a lot of hashtags. I used to do that in my photography, and in fact, I had one picture. It's of my Labrador jumping into our pool, and it's just his head in the water splashing. And Nikon Europe or Nikon UK saw it, and they asked me if they could put it in their publication, just because I use Nikon and whatever other hashtags. I know YouTube says 15 maximum, and the top three are the ones that they'll search on. So they do that, especially, I mean, Google is the search engine. So make sure you use hashtags and put the most important ones first. The first three are the most important. So, yeah, I still get hits on, I've got a blogger account that actually, when I'm done here, when I'm done making a video, I always go on to Blogger or blogspot.com, and I'll just post basically the video and then some little background on it. I did that for my photography where I would, with the photos that I did with the models, I would just give a little history or my settings for the shoot. And it's the weirdest thing is those pages still, they don't give me a lot of revenue, but I have AdSense on the one um, photography blog that I have. It's weird. It's not any money though. I mean, it is so small, it's pennies, but so what? I'm not doing anything, but those hashtags bring people in. I still get page views. It's weird. So yeah, I do Blogger, which is part of Google, um, and this, and then of course Facebook. And I try to drive stuff from Facebook over, but sold. I was recommended the other day. Oh wow. Yeah, I mean, I put a link to your channel in mine, and my guess is people either didn't get far enough or they didn't click on the link to watch your Nelson. Did you notice if your Nelson video went up? Multiple streams of income, especially nowadays. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think Peter McKinnon did an interview 2 years ago where he said multiple income streams is the way to do it, or maybe someone said he said that. But yeah, affiliate links. Shoot, I don't drink coffee like he does, so I didn't buy any of his coffee, and the only Peter McKinnon thing I have is his variable ND filter, but I'm a Polar Pro kind of guy anyway because of my drone. So just because it had his name on it didn't influence me. It was because it was a Polar Pro product. But yeah, yeah. I actually one of my 360 videos went through the roof. Well, okay, in my channel, one of my videos went through the roof because some 360 dive video was there, and mine was the recommended video afterwards. And I think it was just walking the strip. I don't remember which one, if it was New York, or the Treasure Island. But yeah, it was recommended, and I noticed that day it wasn't a huge amount of it went up, but in that one day it went up 50 views, and then it still gets views. So, all right, guys, it's been an hour. Wow, I didn't think that time would go that quick. Mark, if you're on tonight, I will jump on your channel. Tony, if you're going to live stream, I'll jump on yours. Let Your Light, if you're still there. I don't know if you live stream. I think you did once with Steven on the strip. I'm not a nice channel in a time where all the tech and guru channels say you have to be. Then Peter comes out with the video and says, just make. Yeah, time flies on lives. Yeah, and that's true. Yep. Yeah, everyone says be a niche, and I get that. And what brings people in. And I've followed. I don't live stream too. No, oh, come on. There's nothing to be nervous about. You record. Let Your Light says she's too nervous to, just do it. There's nothing to it. Steven put me on the spot. Yeah, he kind of did, didn't he? His channel has grown. Steven has done really well for himself. If you know who we're talking about, he's not leaving Las Vegas. Um, and yeah, his viewership, I think it started when I followed him before he did his Raiders video. Then he did a Raiders video. And also his channel started to grow. And since then, he's done a really good job at keeping the growth. His is more of, what's going on in Vegas. There's a couple other vloggers who do that. What's going on in Vegas. I don't want to be that vlogger. I want to be, Let Your Light does a really good job. She is consistently vlogging about her life. I mean, their life, her family life, not in a personal way, just, hey, here's where we're at. She did that when she was back in Orange County. If I remember, was it Orange County, Let Your Light? But yeah, back when she was a Californian. And most of us Californians never called it Cali. Someone said the other day, goes, oh, you're from Cali? I'm like, yeah, but we never said that. We're from California. I don't know. That was a California thing. Just like San Francisco, they don't call it Frisco. They call it San Fran. So I was going somewhere with this. But yeah, there's so niche things. I don't know. I kind of want to make content where when you watch it just for what it is. I like Vegas because, like I said, I enjoyed coming here and I like things to do when I'm visiting. And I think the hard part is even where you're from, you can always find something around. I think if you grew up there, though, it's harder because you've seen it so much. So like in Bakersfield, we knew everything, what was around, even though I didn't grow up there, and you don't think about it from a tourist eyes. And that's what they all say. Think of where you live as a tourist. What would you show them? What would you do? So speaking of Frisco, Frisco Melt sounds good. Another thing, real quick update on my Las Vegas Now and Then Super 8. I put it on Facebook, and Mark was, Mark, you're the only one to respond, and maybe everyone on that Las Vegas Facebook YouTube page doesn't have any stories to share from that time period. So Mark is going to share some of his stories about growing up in Las Vegas as it relates to the Las Vegas City, which is Fremont Street. I'm going to take it all the way up to the Landmark Hotel, the International, which is Westgate now, and Circus in the Strat. Yeah, I don't want a niche because. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the thing is a lot of my stuff is Vegas related. And I struggle because I don't want to be just a Vegas vlogger. Like Mark says too, I just want to be a vlogger. So it's not very interactive or supportive. So don't go in them anymore. I noticed that. I see a lot of people post and nothing happens. So I know there's one gal who does like Taco Tuesdays or meetups, and they do or they don't. I think there's one guy though who seems like, I don't know if he's a local. I think he's called the Vegas Tourist. I think his name is Mark Anthony. So I'm surprised. Maybe he just didn't look at that post because I know I see him on there and he does. I think he's a local also, or maybe. Don't know. Wouldn't mind getting him. I want to be learning vlogger films. Yeah, Mark does. Yours is about the journey of filmmaking. Just happen to have Vegas as your backdrop because that's where you're at. I also want to do filmmaking. I should call it content creation that has that cinematic feel. So, all right, guys, look, I appreciate you hanging out. If you haven't given it a thumbs up, I see 5 thumbs up, so that means you guys did. So, hey, thanks for tuning in. If I should do some more of these, just let me know. I don't know. I would like to get more people to just ask me questions or, any advice or anything else. So again, thanks for watching, and I don't know if I have anything coming up. I don't think I have a new video yet. I'll have to make one, maybe this weekend. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later.